This is not a joke, man.
I'm just seldom at a loss for words. 2 years ago you were caught
Kiss my
in 4K trying to meet a 13-year-old. And really,
I'm not talking to you. He's talking to you.
Well, 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 it looks like our boy EDP can't stay away from the CHILDs. To quote my favorite homosexual president of all time, Barack Obama's.
So you performed oral sex on Barack Obama. You did.
Fool me once, shame on you.
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
This 445-pound content creator slash minor attracted person, EDP 445, has made waves across the Twitter X sphere over the weekend. Side note, is it still cool to pretend like you don't know what to call Twitter anymore? Is it Twitter? Is it X? Is that played out yet? Have we come to an agreement on that? Let me know what you guys think by leaving a comment in the latest Mr. Beast video.
I'm gay.
Getting back on topic, JiDion, content creator, streamer, dropped a leaked clip on his TikTok over the weekend of an upcoming video, which hints at the fact that he may have in fact caught EDP in another Cupcake incident. But before we dive into the whole JiDion situation, I'll give you a very brief TLDR on what happened during the first sting operation, the first Cupcake incident. If you want something a little more fleshed out, I actually did a video on that in July, I want to say, a couple months back. So click up there, wherever it is. Just check it out. It's probably also in the description. But here is the speedrun version of that. In 2021, screenshots of EDP would leak of him DMing with a 16-year-old girl. This prompted a Chris Hansen-style YouTube channel called Predator Poachers to trick EDP into DMing with a fake 13-year-old girl. Unfortunately, what happens with these vigilante sting operations is that you actually end up breaking some laws yourself or crossing some lines that would prevent like an actual police investigation from happening, even if you gave them all this evidence. Like, there's some certain things that you did incorrectly that would make the whole case fall apart in court. So most of these Chris Hansen style content creators is really just for clout. There's no real like substance to their videos because none of it could actually lead to any kind of investigation. And this was the case with EDP, though it did lead to his cancellation in the court of public opinion, so there was that. But it did also lead us to one of the most hilarious moments caught on 4K cameras.
What were you gonna do when you came here to this little girl's apartment and she's home alone? What were you gonna do?
Honestly, this is real shit. You guys can believe this if you guys want to or not. She said that she was gonna bake me a cupcake. I was gonna take the cupcake and go home.
His lack of improv skills while being caught red-handed it's a thing of beauty. There's a ton of other moments that are really hilarious from that video, but I'm not gonna go through everything. Like I said, you can check out my other video if you want a more in-depth breakdown of that. Earlier this year in 2023, 2 years after the Cupcake incident, EDP would finally release a somewhat of an apology, I guess. He doesn't ever really mention what happened. Everything he says are in lawyer-approved, vague, meaningless statements.
Do what I can, to seek out help, to get the right treatment, to understand what I did was wrong, and to stop running from it.
Essentially, all he said was, I'm gonna get help and be a better person. And that brings us to this past weekend, Labor Day weekend 2023, where he broke all those promises. As I mentioned, JiDion would leak a clip from an upcoming video on his TikTok where he pulled up on EDP for allegedly wanting to have another minor meetup. Now, this is all alleged for now, so please keep that in mind. I think I should probably mention that, even though it would be insane for JiDion to be lying about this stuff. But the very first thing I need to mention here is that JiDion did pull up in a Cupcake costume, which, I mean, just good job. I mean, that's a hilarious thing to do. Now, on a more serious note, you can see in that clip from JiDion, he also has a more formally dressed tag team partner, Skeeter Gene. Skeeter, nah, I'm not gonna call him that. That's insane. Gene is another Chris Hansen style YouTuber, but unlike Predator Poachers, he actually works with the police, and some of his targets do actually end up getting arrested, which is the plan with EDP. According to JiDion, who did an interview on Moist Critical's stream, he had this to say about the timing of the clip being leaked.
We did this we actually did this like a month ago, so I've been sitting on this for like a month and a half. But I was fully expected to like hold on to this for a year and then drop it. The only reason I dropped it today was because the victim, she went public with everything.
Now, I'm not going to show you her face because she is still underage, but she did publicly come forward with her interactions with EDP, alleging that he sent her nudes, which is illegal because she is a minor, and trying to meet up with her to take her virginity. She also mentions this about not being a emo.
He had a fetish of being with a quote young emo girl like me, which by the way, I'm not even emo. Like, I don't consider myself emo. This is just what this guy considered me.
One, in EDP's defense, trust me on this one, she does look very emo. I could see why he'd make that mistake. Two, given the gravity of the situation of that video, it is actually like hilarious to me that she even brought this up. It seems insane, but I am gonna cut her slack here. She's 16 and probably doesn't really know what she's doing, but it is still really funny to me. JiDion also tells Charlie that at one point he was supposed to interview EDP, who had joined his Discord to do the interview, but kind of backed out at the last minute and it never ended up taking place. It was in JiDion's Discord server where he then found this then 15-year-old, now 16-year-old girl. It's not exactly clear what the precise timeline is on this, so I'm not sure if it was pre-EDP sending her nudes and grooming her to try and meet up in person or post that, but at some point she did contact JiDion, who hit up Jean, and they have been collaborating with not only the girl's parents but also law enforcement to continue the conversations and finally bring down EDP. He did confirm that this wasn't actually a Cupcake situation where they tricked him into meeting up with this underage girl to then rug pull him, but instead they had hired a private eye to figure out a schedule, and they pulled up on him during a dialysis appointment. And if you don't know, EDP has had some kidney issues. His kidneys seem to be failing, so I'm assuming it's pertaining to that. Skeeter Jean on his own stream confirmed that the video is being edited currently and will be released in a couple of weeks, and a formal arrest should be made in the near future, as well as they have received the okay from law enforcement to release the video. Also, I just noticed while searching for clips to edit this video, EDP himself actually dropped a response to JiDion. The response is what you would expect from him. He doesn't really say anything. He tries to call out JiDion for rolling up on him at his dialysis appointment, saying that it spiked his blood pressure and he had to reschedule the appointment, meaning he could have died potentially. But unfortunately for him, I don't think anybody cares given the circumstances. There's nothing really worth playing from it, but I thought I should at least mention it, and as a bonus, I'll leave you with this clip, which I took out of context for you.
I'm down with, laying up on my back and getting my sucked by another guy.
So as I mentioned, everything is alleged for now, but it seems like JiDion would be telling the truth. I would take him at his word. It would be really insane for him to be making any of this up. I really hope this does lead to an arrest finally for EDP, because clearly he's a repeat offender. These type of people generally are. So I think it's a good idea to get him off the street, so to speak. But that's about it for now. When the video does release, I'll probably do a follow-up video on it then. Bye guys.